Yo, this is Brews and Reviews or Reviews and Brews. Which one comes first? Which one
Uh,
came first? The egg or the chicken?
um, I want to say the chicken just kind of like crawled up out of like some goo or something. I don't know. Isn't that what like Scientologists believe that the chicken crawled up out of like a volcano or something?
A
And
vacuum.
it was a
A
vacuum.
space vacuum, some crazy shit like that.
And then dinosaurs were all chickens or something.
Something
I
crazy.
don't know science.
This is Brews and Reviews. Of course, this is an extension of the Nova Trifecta / current climate family. I am Jimmy Fedora, aka Alias, aka Juicy J,
And I am Ricky,
the
uh,
captain.
the Captain Ricky. Fuck Fresca.
Fuck fresh. Fuck that Nazi bitch.
Fuck that Nazi
Again,
bitch.
this being Brews and Reviews, I actually want to, give a shout out to the brew that I'm drinking. It's Tallulah Brewing Company. It's a local, I'm gonna say local, but a brewing company in Alabama. I'm drinking the Chiefs
Ooh,
Apricot Blonde. What did you?
delicious. I am just plugging away at a Modelo the size of my head.
That is a for the people who don't know Ricky. Ricky has a big head, so
I have
that's
a
a
really big head. I'm not going to say like exactly how big it is, but I'm going to tell you that my head is the size of four Modelo cans, like one, two, three, four.
damn.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, what we are getting into today is a review for The Boys season
Season two.
dose.
Yeah.
So, what did you think about The Boys? Let's.
What did I think about the boys? Well, my opinion of it, I I I didn't think that the second season was going to be able to top the first season. Um, I watched the premiere, when it dropped for three episodes at one time. And then after that, it was weekly, one after the other. I watched the first three episodes and thought, you know what, this is pretty good. It's still funny. It's still shocking. Let's see how this goes. For me, I feel like my experience was different than yours maybe was because I watched them week to week. And I think you watched them all kind of binged
Back to
them now
back.
that it's over with.
Mhm.
Um, I thought it was by the time it was all said and done, I thought it was fantastic. Just absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I loved it, man.
Yeah.
Again, my viewing experience was different than yours. I've gotten accustomed to watching stuff all the way through, so it's hard for me to wait for a week to week thing. So
Oh
I
yeah.
would much rather wait till it ends and watch it all the way through. So
I get that.
for me, I had no slow points. I can watch it all the way through. I'm excited. I ain't gotta wait, be anxious, and have anxiety. But
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. Again, to piggyback off what you said, I didn't think that it could be better than season one because I thought season one was fucking amazing. And it seems somehow
Oh,
to top each episode. Like, what a hard thing to do is as the season go on, each episode gets better and
I'll
better
give you that.
and better. Because me and you talk all the time, and the show will teeter off. It might start great, but then it'll teeter off.
Yeah. It's very hard for a show to start out great and then somehow top itself like over and over and over again. You know, I will say with certainty that, you know, episodes was 8 episodes in a season, like episodes 6, 7, and 8 were dramatically better than 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I would.
Um, I thought that the cast, it took a few minutes to get the whole cast together, but by the time that they were all there together, like on the same page, it was like a volcano exploding.
Exactly. Like going into the first episode, we didn't see Butcher to the last 20
No,
seconds.
and then Daddy was home.
And Daddy was home and it was a different feeling. Um let's talk about the cast.
Yeah,
What did you think about first off, who was your favorite character? If you had to have a favorite character, it's hard to pick one.
man, it's really hard.
as I love Billy Butcher. I really do love Billy Butcher. He was a bit of a, and I'm borrowing his phrasing here. He was a bit of a cunt
Yeah.
for most of the season. Um, I didn't I didn't love Billy for most of the season. I liked him more in season one
Oh,
than
really?
season two. Yeah, yeah, I didn't like season two Butcher as much. I'll be honest. My favorite's probably the worst character of the entire show, Homelander. He's absolutely awful, but I love it. I love it.
I have to agree with you there.
I cannot get enough of Homelander. He's the worst human being, and I can't get enough of him.
And it's such a different take on because let's be if we're being honest, he's Superman.
Yeah,
He's bright burn grown up. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, and so
yeah.
like he's the worst kind of superhero it can be, but he was my favorite character. I
He's
love,
hands down.
I loved his evolution,
Oh yeah.
through the season. And so
So it's funny though. It's funny though. We're saying that Homelander is the worst. Homelander in season one, like the dude crashed an airplane. That totally his fault. He could have helped those people and he didn't.
yeah,
He killed Stillwell at the end. Um, all the shit that he did, right? We've had many conversations about how Homelander is the worst.
yeah.
I didn't think it could get any worse than Homelander, and then they gave us a friggin' Nazi.
Oh, literally.
Nazis, Nazis are way worse than Homelander.
Yeah, fuck
Uh,
that nasty bitch.
she was fuck that Nazi bitch. She was the worst.
Yeah, she was. And I want to, touch on her for a little bit. It's for me, it's hard for me to hate a character. I
Yeah,
feel like if I can hate a character, you did your job. You did a phenomenal job. And I
yeah,
mean hate as in hate the actual character, not the way that they acted.
yeah.
I hated her because I didn't get the vibe that she was racist until her and A Train sat down and she said
Oh,
certain things that he
yeah,
picked up and he was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, now
yeah,
I'm getting her agenda a little bit."
yeah. I don't remember exactly when it was, but she called somebody yellow.
Yeah,
Talk, somebody that was Asian. She called them
it was
yellow,
me,
and
Kamiko
it's
brother.
Kamiko.
It
Yeah,
was
it's
Kamiko
Kamiko's
brother.
brother.
When I think she broke his neck.
As soon as she said the word yellow, I thought to myself, "My God, she's a freaking racist." I didn't think that she was a Nazi racist. I
Yeah,
just thought she was racist. And then no, man, no, no, she was a freaking Nazi.
a real Nazi.
Real life. She married an actual Nazi and was in photographs with Adolf Hitler. She
Exactly,
was a Heil Hitler swastika Nazi.
a real fucking Nazi.
Let me ask you this.
Let's get into some of the other characters.
All
Huey.
right. Huey.
What you think about Huey?
You know, Huey's kind of I'll be honest, Huey's kind of a little bitch, but I like Huey though. He's like I don't want to say the emotional center of the whole thing, but he's a human that's kind of stuck in the middle of all this stuff. I know that Mother's Milk's a human. I know Frenchie's human. They're normal people, but he's just even more human than them. Like
He bring
he's
compassion.
yeah, he
You
does.
know,
And I appreciate Huey for that. You know, he had probably one of my absolute favorite moments of the entire season when they speared the whale with a speedboat. He's just sitting in there, right? He's just sitting inside of this whale carcass covered in like viscera, right? And the heart of the whale is just like right behind his head. Um, he's just sitting there in complete and total. My watch just brought me a cookie. Hold on. Complete and total shock. I've got a cookie.
ain't nothing wrong with a
It's a
grape.
really good cookie.
Is that a lemon cookie?
No, she just made like some homemade like chocolate chip thing.
Oh, now I see
It's
it.
good.
That looks amazing.
Oh yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. But no, Huey's sitting behind, or sitting in front of a whale's beating heart. That was gold.
Yeah, I like Huey. I liked him a lot. I like they said Butcher needed Huey, needed to
Butcher
calm him
needs
down.
Huey.
And that's what I think that's why Butcher didn't like to be around him because it
No,
made
'cause
it reminded him of his little brother. He's the only
yeah,
one to calm him down.
he needs Huey, and I'm interested to see where that relationship's about to go. We'll get into, you know, the actual ending of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But with Huey, it looks like he's taking a break from Butcher and the boys, and I'm interested to see how long that lasts.
Yeah, I don't think it'll last long.
I don't think it's gonna last very long. I think that Huey's gonna need them way faster than he realizes.
Oh, as we all know.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
what do you think about some of the other heroes, like
yeah.
Starlight and A Train and the Deep?
The Deep. I'm really glad that the whole church thing is over with. It reminded me of season two of season two of True Blood. Yes, season two of True Blood. No, season three. Now my brain's all confused. Either way, they shoehorned like a church story into True Blood,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't love it. And the same thing with the Deep. Like I didn't love the church thing, but the whole Deep has to go find himself, and just how far would he go to get back to the seven?
Yeah,
Like I enjoyed seeing that. Like the guy took acid and had a whole conversation with his gills. Um, you,
but
I
man,
don't know how
that
somebody
shit
can
was
make this shit
hilarious.
up.
That shit was hilarious when he was talking.
Patton Oswalt did he did an interview. Uh, it was like the day or so before or after the premiere released, where he was talking about his top secret role for the season and how he's afraid that it was going to be like a career killer or something because it's the weirdest thing he's ever done. If you wrote on a piece of paper that Patton Oswalt was going to voice some manfish's gills for an acid trip,
That
uh, that
sound
sounds crazy, and I wouldn't believe you, and I also don't think that's going to kill a career because that's fucking amazing.
yeah. Uh, one of my favorite characters of the season is a character that actually don't get a lot of screen time and says absolutely nothing. Black Noir.
Man,
He is like the shit. Hand to hand combat, anything you want to do.
right,
Strategist, ruthless. Black Noir
right.
was the man.
He's like if oh god, I hate even saying this out loud. He's like Deadpool that doesn't talk.
Yeah, pretty
He's like
much.
Deadpool that doesn't talk.
But it ain't cutting no corners. It's straight
None
action. Ain't no
whatsoever.
joking. We finna get to it. You know why
No.
I'm here.
He had some of the most amazing scenes with the teddy bear when he just starts sitting there just crying.
Yeah,
And then like there at the beginning of the season when he's playing the piano. Um like who was this man before he put this suit on, you know? Like I
exactly.
want to know more about him
I do. I do.
because he's a complete friggin' mystery.
He is. He is. And
What did you think? What did you think was the most shocking scene of the entire season?
it was a lot, to be honest with you. The first jaw dropper for me was when they was talking to the lady from the FBI and her head exploded.
Head exploded.
And I was like, oh shit. But probably the most shocking scene was the courtroom scene.
The courtroom was wow.
I had no idea.
No,
And
I
then,
knew something bad was going to happen. I just didn't know what it was going to be.
bro, I thought they was gonna go through the whole, I did not think I thought it was Homeland and Stormfront, to be honest with you.
Right?
So that threw me for a loop. But
They
one
they gave us a
another
red herring with that girl that was in the mental institute.
oh
Like
yeah,
her making people's heads explode. Like I thought that was her. Like
yeah,
I thought Stormfront was using her to do it, but no,
yeah,
that was a great red herring.
yeah, it was some great writing in this. And
Oh yeah,
one scene that I wish would have came, they would have just let it ride is when Homelander killed all them people. Um,
right.
he wanted to.
He
When he
wanted
did
to.
that, my jaw dropped. I was like, "Oh, they going here? Like we
Yeah,
doing this right now?" And
and
so,
then they didn't actually do it.
yeah, yeah,
I was kind of annoyed at that, but
yeah,
that was badass to see just how like just what's going through this man's head, you know? Of course he's thinking about killing everybody in front of him.
yeah.
Of course he is. That's the kind of person he is.
What's holding him back?
I mean, at first it was Stillwell, you know, and then he found out about his son, and I thought that that was kind of holding him back some. And now I really don't know. Like I don't know. I don't think that Stan Edgar's got that much stuff over his head,
Yeah.
but I don't know why he doesn't just kill everybody and say, you know what, fine, fuck it. That's it. You know what? Fuck all of you. I'm done. I'm just gonna laser everybody.
And he said that. He said, "You do that, I'll kill everybody in this bitch." He told
Right?
Maeve that.
Like
So
even when she presented to him, the video, I I don't know if he's just got a thing where he just want to be loved? Is that what it is? Like,
yeah, and see, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. It's like he needs that adulation. He needs that
yeah,
lift up. But like all of them flawed. Every
yeah.
single every single superhero flawed. Homelander is very, very, very emotional,
Oh yeah, he is.
and he can get tied up with a woman.
Oh yeah.
Women make him really, really, really emotional, and so
Would he before the actual ending, right? So about halfway through that episode when he and Stormfront take Ryan down to the little cafeteria, right?
Mhm.
And Ryan kind of flips out, sensory overload. All these people. I don't think the kid's ever been around that many people in his life, right?
Right.
Homelander immediately scoops the kid up, runs out of there, and tries to shelter the kid, right?
Mhm.
Would Homelander have actually been a decent dad? Like,
I think he
I
actually
know
cared about it.
I know that he's awful. I know that he pushed that kid off the roof of that house.
Mhm.
Um, but in that moment, like he seemed to genuinely give a shit about this kid. If Ryan had chosen to go with Homelander at the end of that episode instead of Butcher, I know the kid would have turned out fucked up and he would have turned out awful. But would Homelander have actually been a decent father?
And you seen that with some of the scenes, like they were really, really genuine. A
Yeah,
genuine
like he
father and
seemed like he
son.
genuinely gave a shit.
Yeah. Besides him pushing him off the roof,
Yeah.
he really, really cared about it.
And him pushing him off the roof, he was in his mind, he was 800% convinced that this kid's going to be okay. Nothing's going to happen to this kid.
Mhm.
So it's not a stretch to say that even then, I think he had the kid's best interests in his head,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't actually the case.
Yeah. And see, Homelander a hard ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it seems like as the seasons progressed on, he kind of sympathized with him a little more. And
Yeah.
just like the kid told him, "Dad, you want me to be like you, but I'm not you."
Yeah.
And I think he realized, like, okay, he was like, "Well, I didn't roll out of bed and become Homelander. I had to go through a lot of shit that was way
Yeah.
horrible. But you got me, and I got you. You got me, so I'm gonna
I
make sure
get
you're
that.
okay." And so, yeah,
Is is that kid the strongest soup on earth? You
I
know,
wonder that.
they they said that he's the first natural born soup,
Mhm.
right? And then we saw what Homelander did when he lasered Stormfront.
Mhm.
It didn't do anything. It just kind of
Yeah,
dust it off a little bit. You're fine. But then when Ryan does it, like he completely he knew
barbecue chicken.
barbecue chicken. Like I would have probably served her in a sandwich or something at that point, a little
Mhm.
Nazi sandwich. I would have put Crowd on it. Oh my god,
Kraut.
Crowd. That isn't that what they called the Germans in the war? They called them a bunch of Krauts, right? I am of German heritage. I can make these jokes. It's totally okay.
It's okay.
Um, Homelander can do what he wants.
Yeah.
How how shocking was that? Him standing on the roof of that building, rubbing one out
Who
with the
caught that
Montel.
load at the bottom? It dripped out the sky. Some
Oh
random person.
man, that hit somebody in the face. Like somebody's just walking down the street and they're like,
Could have
"Oh
been an
shit!"
old lady. Caught a load on
They filmed that. I read an article. They filmed that scene to be the final scene of season one.
Oh, really?
They did. They had that in the can since season one. Amazon wouldn't let them use it. They
Oh.
said that it was too much. Said it was way too gratuitous.
So why do
And then I guess like after the show aired, and then everybody just like ate the gratuity up with a spoon, basically. You know, so they said, you know what, fine. If you want to use it, use it.
Yeah.
So we got graced with Homelander rubbing one out. It's thanks to Amazon's little change of heart.
This show will go there. Kind of
It
like
goes there.
the dude having like a 40-inch penis.
That was maybe the most shocking scene to me.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was at first.
About, that man's got a love sausage. And then like 10 minutes later, something reaches through the window and grabs him by the damn neck. And I'm like, the fuck is that? Is that a dick? That's that man's dick.
I didn't realize that till they showed him.
That was absurd.
Tongue or something like that.
Yeah, like a really long baby's arm. He got yanked up by a man's penis. That's love sausage. That would be my name. That would be my, if I were a soup, that would be me.
Love sausage.
I'd be love sausage.
Love sausage.
Love sausage. If you were a soup, what would be your power? What would you be? This is a 2-part question. I got another part of that coming up.
That kind of spill into my mutant.
Oh yeah? What would you, if you were an X-Man, what would you be?
Wolverine.
Okay.
The 2-part like regeneration and bone claws. Yeah. I mean, I would prefer adamantium claws. Yeah. So if I had to choose,
those bone claws are badass still.
Shit hurt too.
Oh yeah.
But I would much rather the adamantium claws and the adamantium skeleton. But I would definitely that would bleed into healing factor would be, part of mine.
I've always said, if I were going to be an X-Man, it'd be something, some kind of telekinesis of some sort. Okay. I like doing shit with my mind. I like little Jedi mind tricks and shit.
So you would be sort of like Jean Grey?
I would be sort of like Jean Grey. I would, except without the Phoenix. Okay. But I would still like some kind of Jean Grey type thing.
The only thing that bothers me, hold on, I got to say this about the Wolverine powers is if I get tossed in the bottom of the ocean, I'm gonna just be there.
Yeah, you're just stuck. That's the end of that.
If I somehow am in orbit, I would just float. I might have to rethink that shit.
I would. We'll put a lid on that and we'll come back to it, right?
Okay.
If you were growing up in this America and you were a kid, which hero would you have the posters on your wall?
Of the soups?
Yep. Which one of the 7 would you have? Would it be Black Noir?
That's tough because probably, to be honest with you, would be A-Train because he hip hop. I have to look at it like from what I see. So hip hop
A-Train's
clubs. He got the slang. That's the shit that I'm into.
Yeah, so he's the athlete.
He the athlete. Exactly. Yeah. Look cool, good looking guy. So it would definitely be A-Train.
I would buy a pair of A-Trainers. I would wear the shoes.
He the shit in the hood. Like he got the swag.
Yeah.
Popping bought everybody a lot around him. Everybody love him. Yeah, A-Train.
I get that. I'll be honest, when I was a kid, I was always that kid that was like, Aquaman's not that bad. As a kid, I probably, as awful as it sounds, to a degree, it probably would have been the Deep.
Really?
Honestly, like I love fish and I love the water.
Okay.
And looking at it like that, I kind of get the Deep. But then again, if you take out the whole he burnt up somebody's grandkids.
Yeah.
Lamplighter, I kind of dug Lamplighter. I know that whole outfit, they made a joke about his outfit.
That shit was funny. That was funny.
But this guy walking up with like a fucking staff, right? And he just like he's got a fire in the staff and he uses it to burn shit up. Mm-hmm. I thought that was pretty cool. I know the whole get up is dumb. Like, get rid of the fucking goggles. Yeah. But like, I'm cool with Lamplighter. I don't have a problem with that.
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, that would be cool. A-Train
so,
all day.
One thing that I noticed that that the boys did, as much of the boys is it's a comedy and it's all these things. Above all, it is a satire on like superhero culture and just any kind of like consumer culture. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I noticed one, they made fun of with the Avengers, and then two, they flipped it on its head and they did it better than the Avengers. Was the whole girls do it better thing, right?
Is the
Uh,
what?
the whole the girls do it better,
Okay.
the feminism thing, right?
Okay.
So when they started out doing it during the season, I kind of chuckled at it. I was like, I see what you're doing, and
Mhm.
I appreciate any kind of satirical look at anything in our modern civilization. I love poking fun at anything we've got going on, and so they made the little jokes about it. But then when they came down to it, the battle at the end of the finale between Stormfront and Kamiko and Starlight, right?
Mhm.
I thought that was one of the most badass scenes of the whole show when Maeve comes up and knocks the shit out of that Nazi bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they all three of them, like Kamiko gets up and unsnaps her neck and they just start wailing in her.
Yeah.
You know, I
I
I
briefly
thought
forgot that
I
Kamiko could do that too. Because when she snapped
yeah.
the neck, I was like,
No, no. She survived Black Noir's damn
Mhm.
blades. Um I thought that their girl power moment was way better and far more earned than the one from the Avengers.
I
The
agree.
one in Endgame,
Was
that
for
almost took me out of the moment. Like I watched it and I was like, like
that shit was forced. Like it was.
it was forced. I
It was
get
forced.
trying to be inclusive, but when
Mhm.
you're being inclusive to the point that you're just like shoving it down somebody's throat, I
Boom.
I don't think it works as well. I thought that their girl power moment was way better and way more badass than the
It felt
boys.
it felt genuine because
It
like
did.
you building, and of course the Avengers like a 2 hour movie. You got 8 episodes of these women having multiple interactions, and the
Yeah.
interactions ain't pretty interactions. They arguing, they don't like each other, they
Mhm.
tolerating each other. So the fact that May showed up when you didn't think she was gonna show up, and she don't really fool with Starlight like that, it made it
Yeah, she told her off. Straight up told her, hell no, I'm not coming. Fuck you.
exactly. She don't even know Kamiko, and they
No.
free world her ass. If you remember from 8 Mile when Free World beat the shit out of Eminem, they they was beating the so bad. She said, "Fuck this shit," and flew away.
And she flew away. She took her basketball and went home.
Talked all that shit.
All of it. And that's what she does.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you think we go from here?
I haven't, because like with this season, I couldn't guess what was going to happen. I had no idea the next scene. I don't know,
No.
what they could have wrote about, which is it's not predictable at all. What you think's going to happen, it doesn't happen. So,
No.
um, I don't know where they go because we never talked about the guy that played Gus in Breaking Bad. Our guy, he
Yeah.
so like
Giancarlo Esposito.
yeah, you got him at play. Who I think he did an amazing job.
He
His
did.
suit game was a 10 in this one, by the way.
Oh, 10 out of shit, man. 20 out of 10.
Exactly. So you got him at play. You got the chick who exploding people's heads at play. What's her deal?
Mhm.
It's plenty of places that you can go.
She's definitely not going after Vought altruistically.
Mhm.
Like she's a villain. She's a super villain.
Yeah.
Um, whatever her all of her motivations are yet to be seen.
Mhm.
I know she's trying to stick it to Vought, and I don't blame her.
Mhm.
But I think that she's more evil.
That she putting
I
off.
think I think that if you put into an argument of what's the lesser evil, I
Mhm.
almost want to say that Vought is, even though I know they're not. I don't trust her, and I don't think any good is going to come of her.
Exactly. And I don't know what you can do against her. She exploding people's heads.
No, not at all. Like I don't even think Kamiko can survive that.
But one thing I think they can do, like I like the fact that they have in a soup division.
Yeah,
So they can kind of, I guess they can, have a super villain or something if they
yeah.
want. But what I
The
like,
boys got a budget now.
yeah, I like the fact that it showed a lot of different soups. So the
Yeah,
variety of soups that was in season 2 was dope. Like it was a lot of
yeah.
cool people with cool powers. So I liked it a whole lot.
I can't wait for next season when we get the boys' answer to Captain America and Soldier Boy.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got a feeling. I've got a feeling he's going to be as bad as Stormfront and Homelander, maybe combined, just not a Nazi. Um, I've got a feeling about Soldier Boy when he finally shows up that he's going to be the anti Captain America, and I can't wait to see
What
that.
what I would like is somebody who can really, and that might go to what you saying, somebody that can really challenge
Yeah,
Homelander, like in a battle that can actually maybe beat him.
At, his reign is going to come to an end. I
Mhm.
don't know how. I don't know when. I don't know if there's a soup we haven't seen yet, or if it's going to be his own kid one day that's going to bring the end to him. But one day, everything is going to come to an head for that man, and it's not going to end well for him. I
I
can
think it'd be him and Butcher dying together. That's the only way that
mutually assured destruction between the two of them feels natural.
because I think Butcher gonna die. And
Of course,
yeah.
he's he's so gung ho and pig-headed about this, but then he's mentally now with Becca gone. I know she died. I know that hurt him. He seems like he's in the best headspace that he's probably ever been in,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very interested to see where Butcher goes from here.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to like season 3 Butcher far more than season 2 Butcher.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So,
Dope,
the
dope,
boys.
dope show. Is there anything else you can think of while we are here?
Not with the boys. No, I'm feel pretty good. Feel pretty good about that actually.
Where you think
You
where you think
hmm?
it'll go?
Where do I think it'll go? I don't know. I think the kid's gonna come back. I know they took him to the CIA, but the CIA is not gonna keep that kid hidden forever.
Mm-hmm.
The kid's gonna come back around for some reason. I feel like he's the. I feel like at this moment he is the perfect anti-Homelander weapon that the government has, and I think the government needs that because I think Homelander's about to be officially unhinged. I thought that Homelander
Yeah.
unhinged is what we were going to get this season, but then you know he kind of got knocked down a couple of pegs at the beginning of the season by Stan Edgar. I think that we're really about to get unhinged Homelander because he's got nothing now. I mean, he doesn't have Becca. He doesn't have his son. He doesn't have Madeline Stillwell. He
But
doesn't have Stormfront. He's got nothing.
which
He
was
doesn't. He doesn't even
crazy.
have Jonah Vogelbaum to go, be a dick to. Like he's got nothing. He
Which was
barely even has the
crazy.
7.
It was
Like he's not even in control of that anymore.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna truly get him unhinged, and I can't wait to see what comes out of that.
And he said, like he said, I can do what the fuck I want.
I can do what I want. I can do what I want.
What you think about him? Was he fucking that doppelganger?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
That was also shocking.
There's a lot of shocking shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like the fact that he was finna suck his own dick with her body in his face.
Would you have?
Huh?
Would you have?
Why you gonna ask me
If
that
that
with
were
a straight
you,
face?
and you're
He said that technically it's yourself, so it's like jacking yourself off. It won't be gay.
I
Is
guess
it,
it's the same thing.
is it
It's the same thing.
is it the same thing as giving yourself a hand job? Letting yourself suck yourself off.
I guess. Call it a out of body experience.
We're gonna put the poll up and ask.
Well, we will. That's what we need to do. Oh. So, continuing on with spooky season, you got any recommendations? Streaming
Recommendations.
recommendations?
Yep, I do actually. It was a series that it's watchable. It's pretty good. I don't think it lives up quite to be Stranger Things, but it's a good watch. Lock and Key.
Lock and Key?
Lock and Key.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. It was supposed to be the successor to Stranger Things. I don't think it is. I don't think it can be. The kids ain't quite as talented as the kids, that's in Stranger Things, but it's a really, really good watch. I enjoyed Lock and Key.
Are those Stranger Things kids the best child actors you've ever seen? Because I feel like they're the best child actors I've ever seen.
Next to the
Like,
kids in Super 8.
I'll give you that. The kids from Super 8 were gold.
Yeah.
And the young kid, the kids from like It Chapter 1 were really good. But those kids from Stranger Things they're something else, man.
Yeah.
Every one of them's got star power.
Every last one of them. So yeah, next to the kids that did Super 8, I think those kids are, and they get a chance to grow with each other too. So
Oh yeah.
that chemistry, you can't. They really like each other. They around each other. I'm pretty sure they hang out outside of that. So a lot of chemistry feels genuine.
Yeah. Do you have a
Uh,
movie or just a show?
I got a movie, but it ain't Halloween. It ain't keeping the theme.
Bring it.
It's a movie that it's a sleeper actually. It's called Running Scared with Paul Walker in it. You ever seen that?
Oh, I've not seen that.
You ought to check it out. I can't tell you too much about it without telling you it's a big spoiler at the end.
Gotcha.
It's one of those movies you can't say shit. You just got to say watch it.
Gotcha.
But it's better than what you think. You think it's just one of those little rinky dink movies. It's actually a really good movie with a lot of good twists in it. It isn't a Halloween movie, but it's a really good movie. So that's the movie that I recommend. It's Running Scared by Paul Walker. It's on Netflix.
All right, I'll look into that. So my two recommendations, I've got two for you. Both are things that I've watched in the past week for the first time. My movie is called Overlord. It's a J.J. Abrams production from that Bad Robot production company. J.J. came up with the story for it, I believe. When somebody says the words Nazi zombie, the first thing that comes to mind is this is going to be a really shitty, cheesy B film. I didn't expect it to actually be as like thrilling and gripping as it was, but this movie shocked the hell out of me. It's got Kurt Russell's son Wyatt, the guy that played young Hooded Justice in Watchmen. He was also in The Leftovers. It's got one of the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Grey Worm from Game of Thrones, and the villain is Euron Greyjoy, also from Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And it takes place on like D-Day, like over the course of the night before D-Day. And I can't say much about it without ruining it, but I can say Nazi zombies and that it didn't actually suck. And then my other recommendation just hit Netflix. It's the follow-up to The Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor. At the time of this,
review on that one.
Oh, we're gonna have to do a review on that. Let me tell you.
Is it
at the
connected
time of
to
this?
Hill House?
I'm going into the finale. What's that?
Is it connected to Hill House?
Not in the least bit. Just got a couple of the same cast members, but there's no connections. I mean,
the same cast members.
It's not like not. It's got some of the like the girl that played Nell, the bent neck lady.
Yeah,
she's the main character in Bly Manor. The narrator was the mom from Hill House.
Okay.
The younger version of the dad is one of the main characters.
So it's a whole
different story. They just got some of the same cast members, in it. And I think some of the rules with like the ghosts are maybe, kind of similar. Like I would say it almost takes place in the same like universe, but no other connections to it. I will say this going into it. I'm starting the finale later this evening. Tonally, it's a lot different than Hill House. It's maybe not as scary, and I'll be honest when I say this. I think that the story is a lot more beautiful than Hill House's was. The acting is it's superb, and I very highly recommend it.
Okay.
We'll do a deep dive on that next week or two.
Yeah, I have it watched by the end. I think that's what I'm gonna actually start next. So we'll definitely get into that.
Sounds good.
Any last words about the boys?
Any last words about the boys? My one last words that I feel like I think that people should really lay off of Billy Joel. I really do. I firmly believe we just need to leave Billy Joel alone. The man makes bangers. Whether we want to admit it or not, that man makes bangers. You know,
Big bangers.
he does. Really, really listen to some Billy Joel. You know, when you get a chance.
Definitely. All right. Do you have any weird questions before we get out of here?
Any weird questions? No, not this time. Not this
Okay.
time. The only weird thing I've got, you know, I've got a little ditty from my boy Billy Joel that I figured, you know, we could play ourselves out tonight. For the record, YouTube, we don't own the rights to this song
We
or
don't
anything else we've talked about, so don't come at us with that bullshit
at all. Zero.
at all. Middle of the night.
All right. Well, we out until next time, people.
Until next time.